Welcome back to Rick's Reflections, where we take a look at the upcoming Sunday Gospel reading and see how it applies to our lives today. This Sunday, Jesus is going to teach us a powerful lesson about getting rid of the things in our lives that cause us to sin. But as we look at the Gospel, it almost looks like there are two separate Gospels because it begins with John talking to Jesus about a man that they witnessed who was casting out demons in the name of Jesus. That sounds great, right? Well, here's the problem. John says he doesn't follow us, so should we tell him to stop? And Jesus, of course, tells him, no, don't tell him to stop. If he's casting them out in my name, just because he's not in our inner circle, he's still doing the work of the Lord. And for that part, I really think about some of our brothers and sisters who are Christians and how sometimes Christians, no matter what kind of banner they fly, we don't always get along. And we say to one another, how could you possibly be of Jesus? How could you possibly be going to heaven? You're this denomination or that denomination. Jesus says, no. If you say it in my name, if you are doing the things in my name, then they are doing them for the Lord. But then the second part of this gospel is really where it also gets very interesting. You see, Jesus goes on to talk about the things that cause us to sin. And he says, listen, if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It's better for you to go into heaven with one hand than to go into hell with both, right? And he goes on to talk about the eye and the foot, right? These different body parts that if they cause you to sin, get rid of them. Now, when he's talking about body parts, he's talking about something very personal, something that it almost seems like we can't live without or we don't want to live without. But Jesus' point is very clear. There's going to be things in your life that are so attached to you, it's almost like they're limbs, but they're no good for you. Get rid of them. Each of us has a cross to bear. Each of us has a struggle. And in our own lives, for the most part, we know what causes us to struggle, whether it be temptations with electronics or alcohol or whatever it is. We all have those things in our life that cause us to stumble. Jesus says, get rid of them. Better for you to go into heaven without that stuff than to go to hell with it. So this week, let's pay close attention to what in our lives causes us to stumble, and let's get rid of it and then rejoice, for we belong in the kingdom of heaven with our Father. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you next time on Rick's Reflections.